It's back to school, so let's create a cute kids library bag. Hello sewing friends! Welcome to Sewing Saturday. It's back to school once again, and I think it's a perfect time to create a fun project that you and your kids will like. Today we will be making a kids library bag. Perfect for storing your kids' books, their iPad, and their Kindle perhaps. And you can also use it as a tote bag for a quick trip to the grocery store. This is probably the easiest project you will make, as it consists of only 2 panels of fabric sewn together on the sides and on the bottom. Great for when you want to sew this with your kids. Plus, it's also a great project if you're looking to make a quick gift. So the materials we will require are very few. First, of course, we will need a fabric. In this project, we will use a canvas fabric. We don't want to make it complicated, so we will not be sewing in a lining today. Also, canvas fabrics are stable and thick enough to give the bag its shape. A stabilizer fabric for embroidering. I'm using a cutaway stabilizer. All-purpose sewing thread for general sewing. Embroidery threads for embroidering. A fabric marker or a pencil, or a piece of chalk for marking the fabric. Sewing pins, a long ruler, a pair of fabric scissors. If you have one of these, this is called pinking shears. I use this to quickly finish up my seam allowances. And we will use a ribbon or cotton webbing for the bag handles. You can also make them out of the canvas fabric. It's just 2 strips of 18 by 2.5 inches wide, cut from the canvas fabric. An iron and a pressing mat, and we will need our sewing machine, of course, the Brother NV2700 sewing, quilting, and embroidery machine. The design for our bag will be made via the Artspira app. So if you haven't explored or let alone downloaded the app, please do so. It's an amazing app that lets you be creative and productive at the same time. It has plenty of project inspirations as well as pre-made designs for your embroidery and crafting. So let's not wait more, let's dive right into our project. We will start by embroidering on the canvas fabric. But first, I will need to draw a 12 by 16 inch rectangle onto the canvas fabric. Then I will mark the center of the rectangle to guide me when framing the fabric, like so. I have already created a simple embroidery design, as you can see. These are basically letters from the alphabet, and I think this will fit right in onto our library bag. So I basically just typed in the letters and changed their font, size, and color. I also made sure that I've chosen the right embroidery hoop for my sewing machine. Once it is done, we can transfer the design to the sewing machine, and then we can start embroidering. Just like that, easy as ABC. So once the embroidering is done, we can then cut the canvas fabric into a 12 by 16 inches rectangle. One with the embroidery and another just plain canvas fabric. If you want to embroider on both sides, you may do so. I'll keep one side embroidered for now. So when cutting the embroidered piece, we will have to ensure that the embroidery design is centered within the rectangle. And for the bag facing, to cover up those raw edges, we will cut up a strip of canvas fabric measuring 23 inches by 4 inches. Then once we have all the pieces, it's time for assembling. We will sew the rectangle pieces right sides together using 1/2 of an inch seam allowance. We will sew both long sides as well as one short side, which is the bottom of the bag. Then using pinking shears, we will trim the edges. Once done, we will turn the bag right side out. Then from the unsewn side or the opening, we will measure 1 inch from both sides like so, and mark using a fabric chalk or a pen. We will place both ends of one ribbon inside the mark line and we will pin this in place. We will do the same on the other side. This will be sewn using 1/2 of an inch seam allowance to secure the ribbons or handles in place. Then the last step is to sew the facing of the bag. Before attaching the facing, we will need to sew both ends of the facing piece using 1/2 of an inch seam allowance. Open up the seams and press using an iron. Then with right sides together, place the facing fabric just like so, and pin along the edges. Sew 1/2 of an inch to secure the facing and the bag. Trim the edge of the facing using pinking shears. Then turn everything to the inside and press once more to flatten the edge. Sew 1 inch away from the opening of the bag to secure the facing and the handle in place. This will create a top stitch. And like I said, it's as easy as ABC. You have created a simple and cute kids library bag. You can fill this with your kids' favorite books or your own if you will, and I'm pretty sure your kids will love them dearly. You can create this in different fabrics, and they're also perfect as gifts to your bookworm friends. I hope you love today's sewing tutorial, and I will see you on the next one. Happy back to school and happy sewing!